All right, well, we are leaving Big Cypress National Preserve. It's been a real treat hanging out here and seeing so many of the wonderful wildlife. So thank you so much, Big Cypress. It's been a lot of fun. Well, we've just packed up our campground and left the island that we've been staying on for the past 6 months, right?
6 months.
So it's time for a new adventure. We're heading north up toward some friends and family up in Tennessee and hopefully some new birds and other wonderful creatures. So thank you so much, South Florida. It's been a real treat and we're excited for the new adventures ahead. So while traveling north, we've just come across a beautiful little gopher tortoise hanging out on the side of the road. So we're seeing this beautiful little tortoise slowly creeping toward us. We're giving her a lot of space. She's actually moving toward us. I'm not sure if it's out of curiosity, but weirdly a pretty fast turtle. They move around with a determined attitude. Looks like they have somewhere to be. She's kind of rapidly moving around and then stopping to feed and then stopping to, it looks like, bask in the sun or just kind of take in her surroundings. She is on the side of this highway here, so hopefully she doesn't creep too close to the road, but we are getting some beautiful footage and hopefully a couple good photos of this lovely denizen of Florida. It's the state tortoise of Florida and Georgia. These real burrowing tortoises. They have a developed front claws for digging. We're here at our campsite in north central Florida and we've got to hang out with some friends today in kind of south central Florida, and on the way we did get to spot a beautiful gopher tortoise, which was a real highlight. Really charismatic reptile. She was moving around really fast looking for things to eat, and we got some nice photos and videos of her. And then Gabby actually saw a second one as we were making our way to the campground here, so pretty sweet so far. The campground that we went to was one of the warm, clear springs in Florida, which meant there was incredible diving, great visibility. We ended up getting a quick dive in right before the sunset. Absolutely beautiful. If you'd like to see more of that dive, I'm going to be making a separate video detailing this adventure, so feel free to check that out. We are here at the Sweetwater Wetlands in Gainesville, Florida, and doing a little bit of birding, hopefully looking for some new birds. But it's a beautiful, bright day, and we won't be here for super long, but just a quick stop before we continue our northward migration. There's a beautiful swallowtail kite hovering way over there in the distance. Looks like it may have some nesting material, and red-winged blackbirds are going crazy, making a bunch of vocalizations. And there's this beautiful sandhill crane that's just walking along the flank of the path here, which is awesome to get to see this. There was a lot of crazy alligator drama. This big alligator seemed to be moving around with purpose. It looked like it was pursuing a smaller alligator, so not entirely sure what was going down over there, but it was crazy to get to see that. Hopefully we get some more views of this beautiful sandhill crane. Just spotted a beautiful limpkin. Let's see if we can find it on the camera here. You can kind of see him back there, but standing really still almost tricked me. I almost didn't see him, but they blend in really well. Beautiful coloration. Oh, just love these birds. Well, a nice quick birding session at the end of the day here. We're going to continue driving north and hopefully get into Georgia as we make our way into some new territory for both Gabby and I. So hopefully get a couple new birds there. We were on a tight time schedule to get to Tennessee, so we decided the best course of action would be to do a shorter birding excursion in Georgia. We drove along some country roads alongside some ponds, cattle fields, and a few gallery forests, and ended up getting our lifer blue grosbeak.
I was also alarmed by how many turtles there are in Georgia along the ponds and cattle-side creeks. Ended up finding this little red-eared slider that we had to rescue. After roadside birding in Georgia, we ended up making our way toward Tennessee, spending some great time with friends and family.
Doing a little more birding here in Tennessee, and we're at this beautiful pond. It's teeming with shorebirds. These are the most wood ducks we've ever seen at a spot. There's about 4, maybe more wood ducks hanging out at the end of the pond here. So not great photo opportunities, but still pretty sweet to get to see so many shorebirds and wonderful wood ducks. We got a brief glimpse at a belted kingfisher, which was really sweet. And there's 2 bald eagles kind of surveying the area, making sure everything's in order. We're hearing a beautiful red-bellied woodpecker. Just love seeing those guys. I'm gonna be really sad when we leave their range. Ooh, there was a common yellowthroat and a brown-headed cowbird. Yeah, we're in kind of that middle going into the peak of migration here, so hopefully we get some more warbler action. We did get a Louisiana water thrush. That was pretty sweet.
Some of the best birding in Tennessee ended up being at the house we were staying at. There were eastern towies, eastern bluebirds, cardinals, brown thrushes. It was a great time. I'll include it in this video, but from this point we started making our way westward toward Arkansas. We went through some significantly flooded areas, including the Mississippi itself, which was really wide and many of the trees were partially underwater.
Almost fell in the creek here. We've made it to Hot Springs National Preserve and it is stunning. I did not expect it to be quite this beautiful here in Arkansas. There's a beautiful little creek right alongside our campground here. I'm really half expecting to see an American dipper here, just because I'm so used to seeing them along the little creeks and rivers in Montana and in the West in general. You've already seen a beautiful couple of indigo bunting and some red cardinals, and we just heard our first Swainson's thrush of the year, so that was such a treat. They're wonderful birds and so close to my heart, near and dear. I kind of want to say that's one of the major birds that just first sparked that let me get into audible birding and trying to identify birds by ear, because they are so iconic and such a beautiful sound to hear in the Mountain West. We'll keep cruising along and see if we can find some birds and maybe some other critters. There's a couple of, ooh, that looks almost like a yellow Sally, a type of stonefly, type of tiny stonefly that trout eat in the West. All right, we'll keep searching along here and see if we can get some photos and videos. Well, we just got a really sweet lifer with the yellow-throated vireo. It's a beautiful bird, and at first the impression was kind of warblery, but it was a little more stout. The bill's a bit thicker than a warbler typically, and for a second I thought prothonotary, but definitely not a prothonotary. It was, it looked like a pair of yellow-throated vireos kind of chasing each other through the canopy. Walking along this creek is really marvelous. It's so beautiful. Actually getting to see flowing water with some elevation change again. As we make our way west, we're seeing a little bit more elevation change than, of course, Florida. But absolutely beautiful. The journey was filled with a bunch of rain and thunderstorms, with a couple of spots that were actually flooded severely. So we're glad we made it through there without any hiccups. But the journey west will continue tomorrow. It looks like it's calling for thunderstorms, so I'm not sure if we'll get to do much birding tomorrow morning. That was the goal, but you never know. When you're in migration mode, you just kind of got to make the best of what you got. So we'll keep making our way and enjoy the journey. All right, it is getting a little dark, but we just heard our first ever wood thrush, which is crazy that it's eluded us for this long, but very diagnostic sound of the wood thrush off the right side of the trail here. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get any photos of it, but I want to try. Again, lights not really cooperating right now, so we'll see what we can do. We just got a beautiful scarlet tanager, another lifer. I got a clip of it, of her. I think it was a female, but it was really hard to see against the silhouette of the white kind of cloudy sky. But hopefully we have a good ID shot. We got a positive confirmation with the audio. The forest birding is a little more tricky than the birding that I've been doing in Florida. I was really given ample opportunities to get photos and videos over there. You really got to work and Get a little warbler neck looking up into these trees, but it's a lot of fun. Oh, and then we did see a beautiful black and white warbler moving up and down the trunks of the trees here.
Some of the highlights here in Arkansas were the red-eyed vireo, the yellow-headed vireo, hearing the Swainson's thrush and the wood thrush. It was really a sweet treat to get before we make our way west, which is what the next episode in this migration series will cover as we make our way from Arkansas through Texas, and it'll pick up again in New Mexico. We really had no idea what was in store for us there, so we're excited to see you in the next episode as we make our way westward.